everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for November 17th, 2019, 3 p.m. Eastern. Some of us, are aware, others not so much, that one quote that I find intriguing is, the most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious, and it is the source of all true art and science. He to whom this emotion is a stranger, who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe, is as good as dead. His eyes are closed. That was Albert Einstein. The greatest failure man can make is to ignore his relationship with God. Whatever God is, whatever his experience of this perfect, all-loving, divine, universal, intelligent source is, to pretend that it isn't real is one of the most ignorant actions this civilization can make. To savor our relationship with the God for some passive ritual that we entertain on the occasional Sunday and believe the personal dialogue with God is only a job the pastor and priest can do. And then man remains powerless and impotent in his life. And if we don't make it a personal priority to intimately connect with the divine, we cannot know this truth, unlimited potentiality, and deeply relax into the divine being that we actually are. And whenever life gets more important than our relationship with the divine, with source creation, a feeling of struggle and emptiness will naturally arise. And this unhappy, lost feeling is often followed with the attempt to fill ourselves with things of the material world, such as food, internet, TV, drugs, alcohol, sex, cell phones are just a few examples of the million. And one interesting distractions which ultimately never fill up this deep, dark hole. It's not that the actual addictive substance is lacking in divine energy. It's the unconscious approach to using it, and when the intention is coming from which makes one miss out on this sacred connection. The God source, prime source, can be found through anything or anyone. If one has the sole intention and understanding to meet with the divine, then that purpose will be fulfilled. If one has the sole intention and understanding to meet with the divine, then that purpose will be fulfilled. Now, without our connection to our true center, the core of our being, we cannot find God at all or in all. And once we have lost our connection with our center, we can only wander through life on a perpetual blind search for something that never satisfies. Our minds can never get enough of what what doesn't satisfy. Our minds can never get enough of what doesn't satisfy. It is a grasping, seeking, and searching hunt for more. And as long as we have forgotten our flashlight of awareness and our treasure map of understanding, we cannot relax into our center to find the God source. To find the God source is here now. And by letting go of the perpetual need for something in the external world, we are able to free fall into our innermost being and discover this sacred intimacy with the divine. And what I am saying is to remind you of what you already inherently know. It's not to only remind you of that, but it is yet to jumpstart your hearts to get curious over what your relationships with the one, the God, source creation actually is. What is your relationship? Only you can ask that. And once you begin to devote time to pondering over your divine connection, what it does to you, gives you, and means to you, then you're halfway home. The last part of our journey is opening up ourselves, surrendering our lives to this moment, to this now, so that we become that sacred temple for the divine to enter. When we simply open a gap in the window for a small breeze to blow through, the greatest spring fresh air can slowly fill the entire room. There is nothing more satisfying and fulfilling. And this is for me, the way I feel. There is nothing more satisfying and fulfilling than creating a personal relationship with the divine, with the God, with the source creation. And this relationship sometimes fluctuates through the years. Sometimes it becomes extremely potent and real. Other times lacking any intimate connection at all. We all experience this through our lives. When we make this divine relationship more important than any personal relationship in our lives, then a magical sensation starts arising inside of us. We step outside the confines of human suffering and realize how easy it is for life to be filled with devotion, love, peace, bliss, kindness, and a heart of overflowing with sweetness. Intimacy with the God, or the one, or source creation, is just like creating intimacy with anyone. To experience real intimacy with another being, you first have to be willing to let your guard down and be fully seen. Now, there is a point of realization that naturally happens on the inward journey, where it's harder to remain in hiding than it is to be exposed and naked out in the open. And when you know you cannot hide from people anymore, and when you know that hiding defeats the reason behind why we are here, the divine experience tends to find a way into our lives. And when we realize that stepping out from that area where we've been hiding is the most exhilarating experience of them all. And then every substance on our addiction list becomes boring and secondary. The important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. One cannot help but be in the awe when we contemplate the mysteries of eternity of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery every day. Never lose a holy curiosity. Albert Einstein. Source creation, the God, is not a commodity. It is not something that you can order up and have delivered at your doorstep right when you need it. And most people don't turn to the God until life gets really rough. When someone close expires or they experience a great loss, major confusion, or a deep emotional challenge, then they turn to the God for help. And the truth is that the God was always listening and was never not present the entire time. The source creation, the God knew the very moment when we were about to beg for help and exactly what we would be asking for. Feeling into the reality of the divine insatiable presence is where the first step towards intimacy actually begins. And when we realize that this presence is omnipresent and that it cannot leave us, if even for a moment, then we simply surrender to it. And the deep healing, understanding that we are never alone. If you could only keep quiet, excuse me, clear of memories and expectations, you would be able to discern the beautiful pattern of events. It is your restlessness that causes chaos. Nisargadatta Maharaj. Perhaps the deepest secret in creating intimacy with the God, the source, or the one, is knowing that no matter where you may be or what you may be doing, the divine is always present. The most loving, caring, conscious, all-powerful essence is loving each and every one of us now. And when we let this experience in, we cannot help but to feel an intimate sense of gratitude. Gratitude towards our lives, and feel this all-pervading love is everywhere we are. We can feel that our hearts starts to soften and the mind begins to relax when we know the divine is present right now, doing everything it can to deeply care for us in this life. Relaxing into the feeling that the divine is always here, helping each and every one of us reach our soul's ultimate destination, becomes our gateway towards finding this intimate connection. And it is very simple to simply relax. Be still. Soften into your very core essence that is beyond your thoughts, words, concepts about what God is. Be very, very still within yourselves. Rest deep inside. Know within your very core, you are this God source. There is something so sweet, healing, and truly divine that happens the moment that we trust this relaxation process. Our essential nature is so exquisite, beautiful, and easy to reach. If anyone in life tells you that you are not the divine, turn around and silently walk away. Know that you are this truly magnificent being, and it is the purpose of your life to know this truth deeply, intimately, and in your heart of mind believes or says who you truly are is always far beyond any idea of what the most supreme being out there is. You, each and every one of us, are the divine essence itself. And the more we can relax into this truth, the more amazing and juicy our life will become. So think about that. You, all of us, are this God source. We are the God source. And it's inside us. And it is to literally release ourselves and relax ourselves into it with full faith and confidence. Then you watch things really change. We will eventually ascend out of this material world, out of all of this want, externalism, and your God source, you are the God source, is the true place where we will all be. So, this meditation, you are the God source. If you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, which I'm sure most of you are. And the first thing that we're going to want to do is relax our bodies. We carry with us unnecessarily stresses, anxieties, and fears that our ego mind has conjured up for us, that we have embraced as a reality. And as we maneuver in these bodies, we realize that those things have no meaning. They do not serve our highest good. So we let them go. We don't hold on to them. We store the stress, anxiety, fear in our shoulders, in our cervical spine, the back of our necks, lower lumbar area, lower spine. Our gluteus maximus, our hands, our shoulders, our feet, our toes. Everybody stores it differently. And it can harbor year after year after year until it starts doing damage biologically. So, you see, it doesn't serve us at all. So we expel it. We aren't angry about it. We just expel it. We present ourselves in front of it, and we say, we don't care to have you. We don't need you. So I ask you to be gone. You feel the body deflate. It kind of just goes into an ease pattern. It's not constricted. And this is a good thing. So as you do that, and it's like I use the hot air balloon. If you want to feel light, let go of these stresses and fears and anxieties. Because you know something? You created them. It's for the ego mind. And once you know this, consciously, you can alleviate it. You just take the ballast and dump it out. And the more ballast you dump out, the higher you rise, the higher you elevate yourself, the freer you become. Now, as we're relaxing the body, we're going to want to move into the now. And the now is everything. The now is the God source that we are. It is the past, the present, the future. It is the moment, the now. The now, everything we do in the now creates our future. Everything we do creates our future. surrendering to the God source that we are, all of that literally vaporizes. You imagine yourselves being above the ego mind, beyond everything. In a place of stillness, in total bliss, always. In pure, deep, eternal love, always. In peace, always. And when any of you have ever touched on it, you know what I'm talking about. So as we're in the now, and we don't go back in the past to create our future, it's a very dangerous thing to do. It keeps us in a loop of non-progression. But as we relax in the body and we're in the now, what we want to do is breathe. Breath in through the nose, breath out through the mouth. Take a wonderfully comfortable inhale through the nose, and then a comfortable exhale through the mouth. And we want to do this at least 6 times while I'm talking. As you breath in through the nose, you hold it 1001, 1002, 1003. And then you breath out through the mouth. And for those of you who are new to this meditation, this now, in the circle of light, the reason that we breathe and concentrate on our breathing is because the breathing is the now. It can only be the now. It has always been the now. And it helps us focus on the now. And it helps us stay in the now. Our breathing is very, very important. When we breath in through the nose and breath out through the mouth. So whenever you feel off kilter, whenever you feel derailed from the source God, you concentrate on your breathing. And the breathing will bring you back into the now, and it will still the mind, the ego mind, and the subconscious mind. So it's very important. Now, as we breath in through the nose, we literally breath in divine positive energy. This is source. This is the God. So people say, well, if we're the God source, if each of us are the God source, we're breathing in ourselves. In a way, yes, you are. And as you breath in this divine positive energy coming from source creation, the God source, all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. It is always communicating through the God that we are, through our heart, into our heart minds. And this is why so many miss it every split second of the existence. But it continues to flow. And it communicates with us deep within us that we are the God source. And that anything outside of us that laughs at that or that denies that, simply turn and walk away. There's no argument. There's no proofing. You simply turn and walk away. Everything that we are is all that there is. And when we get to that complete, intimate, relaxed understanding, this exterior Now, as we breath out through the mouth, we're letting go. We have the faith and the confidence of who and what we are, the God source. So we breath out all the things that serve us no high good, the higher good, the highest good. Our anger, our fear, our depression, our anxiety, our worry, all of this doesn't serve us any good or high vibrational frequency at all. Why would we even entertain it? Yeah, it's not easy. It's not, it's not like we could just snap our fingers and have it just wave away. But it is our journey. And we have all intimately embraced it. Remember that we are merged with the heart-mind. This is where we operate in this body. Heart-mind could be all the way down in the lower abdomen. Not a good place, very low frequency. You want to keep it as high in the body or above the body. And we are one with the God. We are the God source. We are everything that this civilization has been taught outside of itself. It's zeroed out. So, in eventuality, we become to realize that we are all one. And that we are all love. Some of us are derailed and need to get back on the tracks. Others are firmly in position to embrace their experience of intimacy with the gods that they are. Now, we have many other pieces of source creation, many other many other God sources that make up the one. And the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, all of them vibrating at a higher frequency than us. And they've been with us from the beginning. And they are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love. And there's trillions of them. The ascended masters. We're all ascended masters. They are not in physical form. We are. That's the difference. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Thought, Hell, Sanat, Jesus, El Moria, Abundancia, and many, many, many more. They're with us. They're of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love. Their gods with our gods with theirs. All one, all immediately. In the countless trillions, arm in arm, hand in hand, we form our circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth. We are the light. We are the God source. Where does the light come from? It comes from the higher vibrational frequency. It isn't synthesized. It isn't the lesser. It is truly the divine God source that we all are. And it saturates and literally encases this planet and ourselves in a perfect sphere. It vibrates at such a high frequency that lower frequencies of malcontent, of devious intentions, cannot sustain themselves in this field of the high frequency of the divineness of the God source. So it falls away, it dissipates, it basically is torn apart, vaporized. So we are all protected 24/7, inside and out, always. We flood the planet. We flood the surface. We flood inside. We flood above and below. We vaporize all low-intended frequencies. Anything that will do harm to life is vaporized. You can see it through your heart mind as it happens. Our high frequency of deep eternal love vaporizes all the malcontent, all the deviousness, all the manipulation, all the lie, all the deception, and anything that is intended to do harm to any life on this planet, in it, above it, below it, on top of it. Always. Now we all begin to ascend, float up, elevate. And as we do this, we decide to be above our bodies. Our divineness is above the body. And as we are all together, arm in arm, hand in hand, we then begin to call out to the rest of our divineness, of the God source. That's all the light energy beings, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. They are all of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love. And they are in full compassion, non-judgment, total peace, non-ego, stillness, benevolence, in kindness, generosity, and humbleness. And they come in the Googleplexes. A Googleplex fills the universe. Will fill this universe, one Googleplex. Several will fill several universes. Comprehend that through your heart minds. And they all flood in. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They join us in this meditation, this now, the circle of light. Arm in arm, hand in hand. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we're all one. And we are all love. And our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, beneath earth, all of these civilizations. We call upon them. All of us do. And only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, stillness, peace, kindness, generosity and humbleness, benevolence and tranquil. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. Feel that vibration deep within your core being. Our God light energy is expanding everywhere. We are all one. We are all love. We call upon the galactics, the off-worlders. All of these civilizations, there are many, and only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love, can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. There are in full compassion and non-judgment, non-ego, stillness, peace, joy, bliss, happiness, generosity, humbleness, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the billions. They have assisted us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, in freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one. And we are all love. And our God light energy is absolutely saturating and flooding all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. We call upon all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we have inhabited. And only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love, with the highest, deepest, eternal love, can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They are in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, stillness, happiness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, generosity, humbleness. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are all one. And we are all love. And our God-light energy is everywhere. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on, in, above, and below this planet, in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love, from the highest, deepest, eternal love, can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They are in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, peace, bliss, kindness, benevolence, tranquility, generosity, humbleness. The fairies, the sprites, the elves, the dwarves, the gnomes, trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, the mermaids, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And they come in the trillions, in shapes, sizes, forms, colors, configurations of which we have never seen. And they join us, arm in arm, hand in hand, in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are all one. And we are all love. And we are all the God source. And our God-light energy is everywhere. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. It's at center circle. We created this sphere. It holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion. They never dissipate. It is pure, deep, eternal love, intended by by all of us as the God source. It can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. You feel it flood your heart center, your heart mind. You feel as it floods your God, your body, and the exuberation and the lightness and the lifting of anything heavy. You feel light, renewed, energized, because your intimate relationship with the God that you are becomes deeper and deeper and deeper. And we release ourselves from all of the external debris that serves us no higher good. And we feel lifted, buoyant, in the beingness of the gods that we are. We look down upon the planet. We see all of life, all of our brothers and sisters. We see the kingdom of God, and we intend that all of them elevate and begin to understand their journey and begin to experience their intimacy with the gods that they are, and feel the lifting of the heaviness of this external construct. And embrace all that they are, ever will be, ever have been, forever and ever and beyond and always. Pure bliss, pure joy, pure peace, pure nirvana, ecstatic jubilation fills each and every one of us from within. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return. consciously, deeply be aware and know and accept and embrace the fact that you are the God source, and not to allow anything externally to convince you otherwise, and to know that you are increasing your intimate relationship with the God that you are. Many of the things that have confused you and misguided you and misinterpreted to you will vaporize. And the more you realize that you are the God source, the more you will be drawn to have the deepest intimate relationship that you can with your God source. And all this other stuff outside of us is a mere ghost that will vaporize. And you feel it doing so